Welcome back to Oklahoma Live. Peggy Doviak of D.M. Wealth Management is back to help us with our quest to prosper in 2013. This time we're talking about what those of us in our 20s and 30s should be doing right now. Welcome.
Absolutely.
Thanks so much for coming back.
Thank you so much. I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, so 20s and 30s, never too early to start saving and being fiscally responsible.
Absolutely. You know, figuring out what you're spending.
Sure.
Understanding where you are. A lot of people are afraid to really look at it. So the trick is to look to see, what are you spending every month? Nice, honest assessment, no judgment, no criticism. Figure out, you know, maybe you want to start a family.
Sure.
That's going to cost money. You need to figure out how much that's going to cost.
Yeah.
So the first step is to figure out where you are.
Okay, great. And then the other one is then once we know what we're spending, how much is left over, we need to save, right?
That's right. You need to save in small pieces that aren't scary. Remember, I talked the last time about the 2-week emergency fund, where you break those great big goals down into smaller goals. And you want to save the cash, put it in the bank, do something boring with it, have that nice emergency fund to pay for the washer and dryer and the car and everything that goes wrong.
And do you recommend things like having that rent or that mortgage a part of that emergency fund ready to go in case there's a situation?
I would. The emergency fund needs to be all of the bills that if you don't pay them, you're on the street.
Yeah.
So that needs to be in there. If you're looking to buy a house, try to save up 20% so you can get a conventional mortgage.
Sure.
Make sure you can afford your payments.
Yeah.
So is there a rule of thumb, like what percentage of our income we should be saving, or does it kind of vary by person?
It varies. You know, if you're not really sure how secure your job is, having 6 months of bills is a really good place to be. That would give you 6 months to find a new job.
Sure.
If your job's secure, 3 or 4 months is a lot of times enough. It really does depend person to person.
Okay, another thing is we want to make sure we're participating in our employer's plan.
Absolutely, absolutely. And if your employer offers a match, that is 100% free money. If you can manage, you know, it doesn't matter what the stock market does. He gives you $1, you put $1 with it, you've made great return on your investment, you want to start participating in it, you want to, you know, a lot of people don't do it because they don't know what to invest in.
Sure.
And if you don't know what to do, go ahead and just do that age-weighted plan.
Yeah.
It's a very easy thing. It says something like retiring in 2050 or retiring in 2040. You know, once you have more money, you can diversify. There's all kinds of investment issues, but it is a super way to begin.
Sure, good idea. And at this age, 20s and 30s,
Yes.
you're either going into college or you're getting out, and you've
That's
got
right.
a little something most people call debt. Some
That's
people
right.
are afraid to say that word, debt.
I know.
You
Say it proudly.
Let's all say it together.
Debt.
But there's certain debt
It's
that
okay.
it's okay.
It is okay. If you have paid for your education, you've increased your earning potential. You've put yourself into a position to be able to be successful for your entire life.
What else falls into that category? Not only
Buying a
education.
home that you can afford. Right now, interest rates are so low and housing prices are so far down that if you have your emergency fund and everything's stable and you have 20% for a conventional mortgage, don't get in over your head, don't spend more than you can afford to spend. Just go ahead and do it if you can.
Sure.
Yeah, another thing is invest early, never too late to even invest for retirement.
That's right.
Yeah.
You know, nobody wants to think about retiring when they're 25 years old. But if you save from the age of 25 to the age of 65, just right at $3,800 a year, you're going to have $1 million when you're 65 years old.
Wow. Mercy.
That assumes you made 8% a year, and that's a real reasonable rate of return.
Sure. That's a good way to keep that in your mind to see where it could lead.
Absolutely. It's fun.
Yeah, well, if people want, you know, personalized advice, they can always contact you.
They absolutely can with www.dmwealth.com.
Okay, sounds good. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you so much. It was fun. Absolutely.
All right, well, Oklahoma's premier contemporary art exhibition is now on display at the City Arts Center. Coming up, we preview the Art Now exhibit and upcoming gala. That's next.